Hello and welcome to Radical Living. I'm your host, Shoeless Joe, and today we are talking about how to be yourself on YouTube. Emily Jackson sent me a great comment about being yourself on YouTube. Let me get my reading glasses on here. Joe, how did you learn how to make videos and how to be yourself and not be timid? Isn't it awkward making them? I love how confident you are to be like that on your videos that are going to be seen by the world on YouTube. Don't you ever get intimidated by that? I'd love to know how you are able to be so good. Thanks. Well, thank you, Emily, for your great comment. And I really like this question because you're not asking, how do I get bigger on YouTube? How do I get more followers? You're just asking, how do I be genuine? How do I just feel comfortable being myself in front of the camera? And I just think that authenticity is so important in general in life, whether it's being with someone in person, on the phone, or when you're sitting in front of the camera. People want to connect with someone who they feel like they can relate with, someone who's being real with them.
Let's just be real.
Okay, so the first part of this question is, how did you learn how to make videos and how to be yourself and not be timid? Okay, so before I go into the rest of this video, I just want to make clear that I have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to being comfortable in front of the camera. You see, I grew up being in theater, on stage, performing in front of people, and then I ended up going to school to get a degree in drama. So in that sense, though I haven't really done anything with film previously, I do have a little bit of an advantage. And the other thing that really kind of helped me along being comfortable is that I'm just kind of naturally unafraid of what people think of me, and I'm also naturally really weird.
I'm a weirdo, yeah, I'm a weirdo.
So those are two kind of big advantages that I think I have over a lot of people who might be considering going into YouTube. But just because you haven't spent most of your life on stage or weren't born with a natural inclination to not really care what people think of you, doesn't mean that you can't be yourself in front of the camera.
Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself.
The next part of the question is, isn't it awkward making them? Isn't it awkward making these videos, especially if you're just being yourself, being natural, being kind of weird? And the answer is, no, not really, at least not for me. Now, I can definitely see how it would be awkward if there were like other people around watching you. It would take me a little bit of time to get over that. I don't think I've ever done that before. So it's usually just me sitting around alone in the house or at least alone in the room making the videos.
I'm all alone. There's no one here.
The next part of the question is, I love how confident you are to be like that on videos that are going to be seen by the world on YouTube. Don't you ever get intimidated by that? There's two reasons you should not at all be intimidated by being yourself, maybe being a little bit weird in front of the camera, even though you're putting it out there for the whole world to see. The first reason is the whole world's not actually going to see it. Chances are you're going to have very few views on your video. And this is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Because a lot of times we want a lot of people watching our videos, right? We want that kind of validation, that popularity, whatever it is. And that's not necessarily all bad. I mean, you think that you have a specific important message and you want to get that message out there. But the good thing about not a lot of people seeing your videos, at least not right away, is that you have time to kind of make mistakes, feel out your style, and figure out how you want your videos to come across. And the second reason that it shouldn't intimidate you when you're filming is that you have the power of editing. This means that if you mess up, you say something wrong, something doesn't come across the way that you want it to, you can just cut that out. If you do something that maybe is too weird or just not what you're going for, you can cut it out. So this should really empower you to be yourself. So I say, and this goes a lot when, especially if it comes to humor or just kind of honesty, is go with your instinct. If you feel like saying something, say it. If you feel like doing something weird, just do it. See, I didn't plan that, I just did it. And if it looks too weird or it doesn't go with the flow of the video, it just doesn't seem to fit, I can just cut it out and move it maybe somewhere else in the video or just cut it out entirely. And also, going along with the first part where no one's really going to see your videos, the beauty of that also is, and something that I always kind of thought about when I was being myself in my videos, is that if someone doesn't like my personality or my delivery, they can just click away. They're not going to have to like sit in front of me and watch me. And this is different from what I'm used to. I'm used to being on the stage and I have a captive audience for like 1 or 2 hours. And if they're bored by my performance or they don't like it, they're kind of stuck there. Most people aren't going to get up in the middle of a show and walk out. But if they're just watching a YouTube video, they can just click away. And yeah, they might give it a thumbs down or maybe type a little bit of a mean comment. But for the most part, if you're a small YouTuber, the people who watch your videos are going to be the people who like you and like your content. And as for the last part of your comment, I'd love to know how you are able to be so good. Well, baby, I was born this way. I was born this way. Ha! Gotcha, you thought I was gonna play some Lady Gaga, dance to some Lady Gaga there. Oh yeah, well you were wrong. See, I still got it. I can still surprise you. Again, see, I didn't plan that, I didn't write it, I felt it, I did it, and I can cut it. Except if I cut it, then I have to cut this. So I probably have to leave it no matter how weird it was, so hope it wasn't that weird. Now, another thing I just want to bring up, and this kind of goes with the first part of the question of how did you learn how to make videos? I'm assuming you're not talking about technically, right? Because we're focusing here on being ourselves. And one of the things that I noticed that I did is that I kind of emulated certain YouTubers that I watched a lot. And I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. So just watch the videos that you enjoy watching and then try to maybe be a little bit like that. And it doesn't have to mean, you know, you copy someone's style exactly or you use phrases that they use precisely. But if you notice, hey, they make jokes every time that they move on to another segment. Maybe that's something I want to do. Or, hey, they talk with their hands a lot and I think that's really engaging. Maybe that's something that I want to start doing more. And again, you don't want it to be unnatural where you're just like doing things that don't come naturally. You want to take what you have naturally and kind of just let it flourish, let it blossom into a beautiful flower.
I'm still a caterpillar in a cocoon.
Another thing that you might try to do is maybe pretend like you're talking to a friend. Sometimes pretend like you're just having a one-on-one conversation with someone can make it a little bit easier to do. And I think especially when you're first starting out, this is really realistic because when you put out your very, very first video, right, who's going to see it? Your family and your friends. So just pretend like that. Pretend like you're hanging out with some friends or something and say whatever it is you would say just like you were saying it to them. So to recap, you can be yourself in front of the camera by just remembering that if you say anything too weird or mess up what you're saying, you can always edit it right out. And when you're first starting out, not that many people are going to be watching your videos, so you don't have to worry about having the weight of the world on your shoulders. And also, the people who do watch your videos are going to tend to be the people who like you and want to see what you have to say. Because remember, authenticity is key, and it doesn't hurt to sprinkle in a little weirdness along the way. Being weird keeps people watching. Trust me.
Shake it, Mr. Caterpillar.
So I hope some of these tips were helpful for you. Anyone else who has any comments on this, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Let us know how you, if you make YouTube videos especially, how do you feel comfortable, make yourself feel comfortable in front of the camera to give an honest delivery. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, keep it simple, question everything, stay radical.
Be yourself, no matter what they say.
I want to blossom right now. I want to conquer the world. Sketch that. When am I supposed to blossom? At 45, 68? When am I supposed to blossom? Do some tests, check my prostate. When am I supposed to blossom? Would we arrange blooming before lunch or something? That would be great. When am I supposed to blossom? How late is late? Blooming specialist of the world.
Unafraid of what people think really helped me when it comes to kind of, oh my god. Not a lot of people are probably going to see your video. Relax. Today we are talking about how to be good enough. Good, just good enough.
I'm a weirdo, yeah, I'm a weirdo.
When am I supposed to blossom?
Just do it! You gotta be yourself. You gotta be yourself. I say you gotta be yourself.